Okay, let us continue Campfire cooking in another world. For those of you wanting me to continue the other one, the world's strongest witch, the online strategy guide one, I would continue it, but I can't. I literally can't, because there is no other book. It's the only book at the moment, so we are going to have to wait until the next one. And if the actual author of the book is listening to these, I am so very grateful for your book, because it is amazing. I cannot wait for more, and I'm sure a bunch of my viewers agree. And I always, for the books, just so you guys know, I always put the link for the book in particular in the description. That way, if you want to get the book without me commentary on it, you can always get the book yourself. And read it to your heart's content, whether it be through Kindle or paperback, hardback, whatever. Yeah, it's always go support the original release of the book instead of listening to my cringy butt reading the story and offering commentary. So yeah, if you really enjoy the series, go and get it yourself. If you got a Kindle, it's not that expensive in comparison to a paperback, of course. But yeah, it's a really good series. All the books I've been reading so far have been really good. The only one that's kind of the exception to that is, I think, Remonster. Because, yeah, I didn't even get very far into it. And the thing is just spotty when it comes to actually finding it. Because I think that's part of the reason why it got copyrighted. But yeah, there are 3 book series that I will not be able to do readings for and put them up on YouTube. And that is Remonster, The Apothecary Diaries, and That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Those have all gotten copyrighted, so I cannot do those. I can put them up on another site and just put a redirect for you guys if you guys still want those, so yeah. Let us continue with this. I don't even remember which part it is, but I'll figure it out. Excuse me. We had decided to stay at the Inn Elrond recommended, the Labyrinth City Inn, and we were currently having a meal in the courtyard. I cannot talk right. That's not good. Once we were finished, I was going to have Fel and Dora-chan sleep in the kennel, but Dora-chan complained that he wanted his own bedding set after seeing me spread Fel's out, so I bought him one too. I only needed to get one since Dora-chan was so small, though. Yeah, because I think Fel needed like 2 or 3. I went with Sui into my room. After spreading out my futon on the bed, Sui immediately got in. As for me, I had something I had to do, so I couldn't just get in. I had to prepare offerings for the goddesses after all. Oh, got this again. When was the last time he did it? Ignore that. I don't know why. I think it's just because my hard drive is sitting on one side of the desk and my mouse is on the other side. Like, the hard drive is on the left side of the desk, the mouse and keyboard are on the right side, so the mouse is getting, like, stuck or something. I don't know. And maybe my desk is just too close to the wall. I don't know. I think it is. Hold on. That's why. There. Now I won't do that anymore, hopefully. But, yeah. Or if it gets stuck and I had to pull it, essentially. I really didn't feel like it since I could see them complaining ceaselessly that I was late, but unfortunately that wasn't an option. If I was to be any later, they'd come complaining to me themselves after all. Okay, then let's talk to them. Are you around, goddesses? You're late, super late. You forgot, didn't you? A divine disappointment, Ninrir, huh? But I can't deny it. She's right, you know. I've been waiting so patiently. You're the one at fault for being so late. I want a show of apology here. Right where it hurts. Lady Kisharo's pretty sharp, isn't she? That's right, we want some compensation. And Agni has to pile on. Broken promise. Ruka, that really hurts. So could you just stay quiet like always? I mean, dude, what does she expect? What you need... Well, you should have... I don't even think he's got a phone on him. As I'm assuming if he had a phone, he wouldn't be able to charge it, so it would be dead. I wonder if we could do that by magic. Anyway, I was gonna say, why don't you try and leave a message to your, like a post-it note, like on your clothes or in your bag or something, saying, at this time, or write down the dates that you would have to extend it, or something, just so you'd remind yourself, because you seem to be forgetting a lot. Well, it's not like I have any excuse for being late. Fine, I'm sorry for being late. As an apology, I'll raise your usual allowance from 3 silvers to 4 just this once. Let me off with that, please. Okay, if you do that, we'll forgive you. It's 4 silver, right? I'm okay with that. Sure, 4 silver, huh? I can get a lot more varieties with that. Forgiven. I got them to forgive me for 4 silver. These gods might actually be pretty easy. Be careful, because you might be getting the gods coming soon. Maybe if they keep this up, because I'm sure the gods will have noticed something's going on. I mean, surely they have realized something's going on by now. I mean, they're all seeing, so surely they notice the girl's doing something strange. Well, then I'll be listening to your request. Will Ninrir be going first as usual? Yes, I'll be going first. As always, I want sweets. With lots of dorayaki and this time some cake and pudding. Also those fizzy sweet drinks. So, the usual sweets for Ninrir. She sure doesn't change. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's that good, and she likes that much, don't complain about it. At least she's not asking for the expensive stuff. I added everything Ninrir wanted into the cart until I reached her budget of 4 silver. Extra dorayaki, cake, pudding, cola, cider, several types of Western and Japanese sweets. And with the rest of the budget, an assortment of random candies. Next is Kisharo, right? Yes, indeed. I still have the shampoo, hair treatments, and the hair mask from before, so I don't need any more. Instead, are there any other things for beauty that are good? For beauty, the only things I can think of off the top of my head are facial soaps, facial lotions, and milky lotions, I think. How about facial soaps and lotions, or milky lotions? Huh? What are these? Kishara was immediately interested. Actually, does this world not have them? Stuff to moisturize the face and skin? When I asked, it seemed that they didn't exist. Of course. Apparently the only thing they had that was similar was purified olive oil to prevent drying, and since that oil was expensive, in the end apparently not bothering was the most common. I've been thinking this for a while now, but even though Kishara wants beauty products, do girls really need them? Weren't gods supposed to be able to keep their beauty with their god power or whatever? That is a good question. I mean, they're gods and goddesses. Surely they would be able to keep themselves looking amazing forever, because that was the whole point of Ninrir saying that she would never get fat. You know? So shouldn't it apply to beauty stuff too? I don't know. Isn't this kind of weird? Do gods really need to take care of their hair or skin and stuff? Aren't you all supposed to just be perpetually beautiful? When I tried to ask Kishara about what was bothering me, I was denied with overwhelming force. What the hell do you think you're saying? As long as we're in this divine realm, we aren't much different from you humans. We have a lot of power to affect your world, but everyone has that power here in the divine realm where we live. Even we get hungry when we're here, and age as well. You age? Then how are you a god? Don't gods usually tend to have immortality? Unless they don't they don't age, you know? That was the whole point of thinking they were perpetually beautiful and attractive, whatever, you know? It's true that compared to a human, we're long-lived and don't get sick, but other than that, we're basically human. I see, so gods in this world are like that. But, well, the fact that they aren't perfect in every way makes it easier to feel close to them, I guess. I see, if that's the case, then the things I suggested might be good. Lady Kishara, what are you worried about skin-wise? I'll pick accordingly. It's got to be the dryness. I'm using purified olive oil already, but it's especially dry around my eyes. I see. I looked through the skincare section on my online supermarket. There, what caught my eye was a series of beauty products that all used a mixture of hyaluronic acid and collagen to moisturize skin. The facial and milky lotions cost 1 silver each, and since she was worried about dryness, I bought a moisturizing cream from the same set for 1 silver 5 copper. I used the remaining 5 copper to buy a tube of face cleansing foam. Excuse me. Next is Agni, right? Sure, you see, I want the same alcohol as before. Ah, we finally caught you! What are you guys doing here? Uh-oh, y'all got caught! The men are here! Oh no! This is gonna be bad! Oh no! What are they gonna want? What's gonna happen? I heard a man's voice interrupt what Agni was saying. What are these guys here? Right, could it be Agni? No, it's not me. It's no way I would tell these guys anything. They smelled the alcohol. The goddesses must have agreed with Ruka's theory since they started to argue amongst themselves like, that's why I told you to lay off the alcohol. And it really wasn't good to let her have alcohol. And I wanted to try the other world's alcohol too, you know. I see. So you were summoned from another world, huh? And you have a skill to get things from your world, I see. Including alcohol. Hey, blacksmithing god, it looks like we'll be able to drink lots of alcohol from the other world too. Oh no! You've got to set a budget, dude. Bad. You've got to set a budget, because that stuff's expensive. Alcohol, cigarettes, anything in this world is expensive, but especially alcohol and cigarettes. You better not let them have any cigarettes, dude. I don't think they would want that anyway, considering how bad it is for people. But I'm just saying, that's one thing you never let them have, because that will be very bad for them. I don't think they would, like I said, I don't think they would ask for that, because I think they're more interested in, like, food and alcohol and all the other stuff. Yeah. That's right, wise god, war god, we're in luck. That's right. I'm getting some real bad vibes from these audacious laughing voices here. Ignoring these noisy goddesses, let's start with some introductions. I am the blacksmithing god Hephaestus? That sounds very similar to the Greek blacksmithing god Hephaestus, which is the, I guess, ex-husband of Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty. Oh, this is interesting. And I am the war god Vahan. Huh? Okay, who is who? I'm guessing, let's see. You are, the one on the left is the blacksmithing god, and the one on the right is the war god. Makes sense. Ah, the alcohol-loving gods the goddesses were wary of, so they were finally found out. It seems like you've already given them offerings, but we want some as well, of course in the form of alcohol. Right, give us a lot of otherworld alcohol, will you? Wait a second here, what do you people gods think you could just ask for stuff right now? Hey, stop ordering things on your own over there. It's not like we've been taking offerings for nothing, you know. She's right, we've all properly given him our blessings, so we're receiving some offerings every week in return. That's right, you guys can't just ask for offerings when you've done nothing. You too bad. Ruka putting her 2 cents in. When the blacksmithing and war gods tried to do things on their own, the goddesses paused their argument to stop them. So in other words, as long as we give our blessings to this other world, or we can get alcohol, right? Right, blacksmithing god? That will be correct, war god. Well, then here's our blessings. This is bad. I can see these two super selfish sounding gods trying to get me to send them alcohol every day if I was to take their blessings. Wait, I don't need any more blessings. What? You won't take our blessings, you say? You heretic, divine punishment for you. Uh-oh, he's super mad. Sorry. I worded that badly. I've already got enough blessings, so my familiar, please give the slime the blacksmithing blessing. I pointed to Sue, who was sleeping in my futon in the heat of the moment. Sorry, Suey! Oh no! I see. So it's like that. Oh wait, you could have given the dragon that! Blacksmithing god or war god? I mean, heck, those could have probably done good for Dora-chan. Okay, got it. I will give that slime my blessing. There, it is done. I'm next then. Okay, so I should be giving my blessing to a familiar? I can't just take the blacksmithing god's blessing and refuse the war god, can I? His blessing seems like the most dangerous out of all of them, though. The war god's blessing will be the worst fit for me, and on top of that, I wouldn't be able to make use of it properly. Too much power was harmful, after all. Dora-chan should be the one to take this, since he doesn't have one yet. Then to my familiar pixie dragon. Got it. You have a Fenrir, too. It seems like it would fit him, too, so I'll give my blessing to hit both of them. Ah, both Fel and Dora-chan got his blessing. Is that okay? It would be nice if Fel didn't get even more warlike after getting this blessing and powering up. Dangerous blessing, huh? If you put it like that, it's true. My blessing gives all your stats a 50% boost during fights, after all. They'll become a little more hot-blooded, though. Uh-oh, why did you say that? Don't just tell me that after you've already given the blessing, please, war god. Isn't 50% super dangerous? The boost from my online supermarket can't even compare. So now you've got our blessing, so get us some alcohol. That's right, alcohol. Get us some booze. Aren't these two way too rowdy? Why just ordering as you please? I won't let you. There's rules to getting offerings from him. That's right. To be fair to everyone, there's a budget of 3 silver per person. Exactly. You can't just try to get ahead on your own. Also, if you keep making ridiculous orders like that, none of us will be able to get offerings from him anymore. Excessiveness is bad. It's 3 silver per person. Oh, goddesses, you totally get how things work, don't you? Giving someone preferential treatment just sows the seeds for conflict later. I'll be doing this properly. That's how it is, Sir Hephaestus, Sir Vahan, I guess? That's how you say it? I could be wrong. Look, I'm probably butchering a ton of this stuff. In order to be fair to all, each person gets 3 silvers worth of goods. I cannot compromise on that. Although, for today, since I was late, I've raised it to 4 silver. Fine, today is 4 silver, right? If that's the case, I'll just be asking for alcohol then. I won't know until I try it, after all. I'm the same as Hefe over here. I want all different kinds of booze. I'm counting on you to get me as much as you can within the limit, okay? Of course, the 2 gods, who were such big alcohol lovers as to alarm the goddesses, would ask for alcohol. Of course! What else would they ask for? So then, I'll be asking for the same. The one from before was good, but I really do want to try all kinds. Jumping on the bandwagon, huh, Agni? I'd like to tell you to limit yourself to 1, but with these 2 here, that's probably impossible. Right? I didn't want to get found out by these 2, but their noses are too good. It looks like the goddesses have given up. Just how much do these 2 like their alcohol? Oh well. I got the alcohol for Hephaestus, Vahan, and Agni. They wanted all kinds, so I started with canned beer. I got 1 each of dry beer, which was known for its sharpness, premium beer, and black beer at 2 coppers apiece. Also a 720 milliliter bottle of choice pure sake, which cost 1 silver. After that, a silver 700 milliliter bottle of whiskey and 640 milliliter bottle of brandy that also cost 1 silver. And for the leftover 4 coppers, some red wine from Spain. I got the same for all 3 of them. And lastly is Miss Ruka. Right? The same as last time. Sweets and food. Extra food. Sure. What did I have? I still have some beef bowls, so some of that. Judging from the prices, say, eating it in a store and the cost on my online supermarket, excuse me. This is an extra large serving, so 5 coppers should be fine. After that, I still had some gyoza left. I think, yep, 5 coppers should be enough for 12 gyoza. And then side dishes from my online supermarket would be good. Oh, and they have a cutlet skewer combo platter. That and 2 each of yakitori thighs with green onions, liver, and chicken meatball skewers. I assume this is all stuff that he's either made or he's buying from the supermarket. I also got her some soy marinated karage. With the rest, I bought the usual white bread and sweets. Right, this should be good. I lined up each god's share on their own cardboard box altar. Since the blacksmithing god and the war god were now here too, that ended up being 6 altars in total. Oh god. That's right, I need to explain how to use these to you, Lady Kisharo. You can see me, right? Yes, perfectly. For the face cleansing foam, squeeze out about this much lather with cold or warm water and wash your face with it. Make sure to get out all the foam, by the way. Once you've washed your face and dried it, next is this facial lotion. Take a dollop about the size of a silver coin in your hand and apply it gently to your face. It might be good to apply more if your skin is really bad. After the facial lotion is this milky lotion. Apply it the same way as the facial lotion, only use slightly less. You can also use your extra with this if the state of your skin is especially bad. After that is this cream. Please use around enough to fit on the tip of your pinky if your skin is still dry, even after the milky lotion. Also, as a special thing at night, it might be good to use a larger amount right before you sleep. I explained the usage of our beauty products while reading the instructions on the back of the package. I need to tell Hephaestus, Vahan, and Agni something as well. This one and this one are both very strong, so please be careful as I'm holding up the bottles of whiskey and brandy. Also, this one should be poured directly into the glass and enjoyed. As for this one, it's the same as the one I sent Agni before, so if you're going to drink it straight, please add ice. It's also good when cut with water. Sure, got it. Strong alcohol is always welcome. That's right, I'm looking forward to drinking it. Tonight's going to be a feast, War God. Yeah, of course. Hephaestus and Vahan were already talking with full intent to drink. You guys better be careful because of the big guy in charge up there. I'm guessing the one that allowed the summoning in the first place, because I'm assuming that's something that will be in his jurisdiction. Might take notice, and worst case, you guys would lose out on your offerings because he wouldn't be able to do it anymore, or best case, he would want something too! Oh god. Oh no, please don't have that happen. He's gonna have 7 altars if that happens. Well, then here are your desired offerings. Please accept them. The offerings on top of the cardboard altars disappeared. After they did, I could hear the voices of the goddesses and gods making a huge fuss. I don't know why, but for some reason there's even more of them now. Both the blacksmithing and war gods are scary, so I couldn't just say no. For some reason, I was even more tired than usual today. I was curious as to my familiar statuses after they'd received blessings from the blacksmithing god and war gods, but I was so tired right now, all I wanted to do was sleep. I'll take a look tomorrow. Oh boy. Ooh! We get to see what the three heroes are up to. Ooh! Gossip. 3 heroes, starting to level up. Kanan, Rio, and I, as well as the 3 knights accompanying us, stood in front of the dungeon. Since we'd met, we'd spent a week on learning the basics of swordplay, spears, and magic. After that, we did as the knight captain said and registered as adventurers. From now on, we will be focusing on raising our levels, and it seemed that dungeons were the most suited for fulfilling that purpose. Dungeons reminded me of games, so I was excited. Well, then let's go in, shall we? At Leonard's words, we passed by the snaking line of adventurers and headed for the dungeon. Apparently, since the 3 of them were knights, and we were treated as state guests, it was a matter of course that we had priority. We were told that we didn't have to pay the adventurers any mind. Even though we felt a little guilty just passing by all the people who were lined up, it was still lucky that we didn't have to wait. Yeah, at least they have some kind of, let's see how this goes with this. It'd just be a drag having to sit in that long line after all. Of course, I'd want to enter the dungeon as soon as possible. Hey, is this okay? Rio asked. It's fine, the knight said so. Kanan's right, it's not like we're forcing our way in. Is that so? More importantly, hurry up, the knights are waiting. She's right. Yeah, okay. Rio was a little hesitant, but she followed us at the end. Everyone, are you ready? Yes. This will be your first time in the dungeon, so we're just trying to warm up for now. Let's just see how far we can go for the moment. I have a teleportation stone on me, so don't worry about getting back, and just fight to your heart's content, said Leonard. It seemed that a teleportation stone did just as it said in the name. It allowed the user to teleport. Apparently, it was an item that would rarely drop from a boss on every 10th floor. It was a very precious item, but it seemed the country was lending it out to us since we were heroes. It just meant that they expected that much from us probably. We'll have to do our best. The first floor was slimes, the second floor giant rats, and the third floor gray wolves. We got that far easily. At first we had a little bit of trouble with the speed of the gray wolves on the third floor, but once we were used to it, we started to clear them easily. The fourth floor was goblins, and both Rio and Kanan were a little hesitant to fight humanoid monsters. I also wanted to avoid it if at all possible, but they would just attack us if we didn't. After the first time we were attacked and we beat them, that feeling disappeared. Even Kanan and Rio seemed to have gotten over it and recognized that they were more monsters. On the fifth floor was a mix of goblins and grey wolves. There were a lot of them, but we didn't have any real trouble. After clearing the boss on this floor, it was a goblin general. We got our first drop item. It was just a regular sword, but it was just like a game, so the 3 of us were excited. Somehow, stuff like this just gave us a lot of motivation. In the 6th floor, there were poisonous spider-type monsters named poison spiders. Just like the name, these monsters are poisonous. In this floor, their poison is still not enough to kill you, but you'll be paralyzed for 10 minutes if you get bitten. If that happens, you could lose your life anyway, so be careful, Aaron warned us. They were huge spiders around 50 centimeters in height. Just from their looks, Rio and Kanan freaked out, of course. I would too. Also, we could never relax because these monsters could use their spider silk to hang from the ceilings and sneak up on people, but here magic worked its wonders. After hearing from Louise that fire was these spiders' weaknesses, we were advised to start using fire magic. Okay, I am very curious about this because Makoto didn't have to use a certain chant. He just says fireball, 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 essentially. He didn't have to use any kind of chant to do it. Is it just because, is that the part of the reason why his fireballs weren't that very good? Or, I don't know. A blazing ball of fire burned mine enemies to nothing. Fireball. Using the chant for fireball, we learned in training we shot fireballs at the spiders. I'm guessing that maybe that was part of the reason why these fireballs weren't that good. Or maybe because they're technically heroes, and it's easier for them. And he's just a victim from another world, so it's harder for him, maybe? I don't know. The spiders burned away while screaming. That was pretty good. Thoroughly motivated by Louise's praise, I kept shooting my fireballs at the enemies. Just like that, we easily cleared the 6th floor thanks to fire magic. In the 7th floor, it was also poison spiders, but there was also a giant poison spider, their higher form here as well. Since people could die from the poison and giant poison spider bites, Rio and Kanan were on edge. I was also a little frightened from being told we could die, but I steadied myself thinking it would be fine as long as we had fire magic. There were even more spiders around on the 7th floor than in the 6th, and they were wriggling around everywhere. Using fireballs, I ended them all. After lowering the numbers by shooting fireballs at where they were concentrated, we used our swords and spears to cut apart the rest. At the end, there was the giant poison spider in the boss room. It really was huge. Including the length of its legs, it seemed to be about 2 meters tall. There were lots of poison spiders squirming around the giant poison spider. Kaito, shoot a fire arrow at it. I came to in response to Louise's words. It seemed that both Kanan and Rio were told by Leonard and Aaron to shoot their magic too. Somehow I'm going to be the one to kill that huge thing. Excuse me. A raging arrow of fire pierced through mine enemies. Fire arrow. The fire arrow I shot hit the giant poison spider and caused the huge thing to explode. Wow. 1 hit. The fireballs Kanan and Rio shot burned away the surrounding spiders. Yes! We did it! While we were celebrating, a cunning warning interrupted us. It's not over yet. When we looked, it was true that there were still poison spiders around. Regrouping, we gathered ourselves and started to cut away the rest of the spiders. After all the spiders were gone, a bundle of string was all that was left. When we appraised it, it said giant poison spider's string. This should go to Kaito, who defeated the giant poison spider. Saying so, Louise gave it to me. Right, that's the 7th floor cleared. Let's leave it here for today and return. Just like that, we went back to the surface. When we got back to the palace, we confirmed our status with the appraisal tool. Name Kaito Saito. Age 17. Job hero from another world. Level 5. Only 5 levels! Okay. Actually, never mind. That would still be decent for anybody else, but I'm guessing that wasn't enough for maybe a hero? Maybe? I don't know. HP 926, MP 882, Attack 891, Defense 867, Agility 860, Skills Appraisal, Item Box, Holy Sword Arts, Fire Magic, Water Magic, Earth Magic, Wind Magic, Light Magic, Lightning Magic, Ice Magic. We'd gone up to level 5. Nice! Kanan and Rio were both also level 5. I'm gonna get a lot stronger from here on out, and then, with Louise... What, you guys think y'all are going to be together with your respected guys and girls? I don't think that's going to happen. Because something's going to happen. What do you think? Well, it was their first dungeon after all. For that, they were pretty good. Right, for their first dungeon, they did well, I think. Kaito's fire magic was pretty good, but Kanan and Rio might need some more training. Yeah, it's no good that they can't quickly fire their spells. Or fire their magic. Their sword and spear skills are pretty good for only a week of training, but I'd have liked them to do a little bit better given their titles as heroes and their skills. That's what I'm saying. It was good for, if you were, an average adventurer. Yes, that would have been amazing to get 5 levels right off the bat. No, 4 levels right off the bat, because I'm assuming they were at level 1. They gained 4 levels. So that would have been good for the average adventurer, but since they're considered heroes and they have more pressure on them, I would think that they would probably expected them to get at least a level 10, if not higher. You said it. Yeah, was it too early for them to go to the dungeon? That's not necessarily the case, but if we were to go deeper, they might have some trouble as they are now. Yes, for now, it might be better to stop going into the dungeon for a while tomorrow and focus on their magic, sword, and spear training. You're right, we're being pressured from up top, but we'll be the ones injured and in trouble if we go too far. Yeah, still though, they're already level 5 just from today's dungeon run, as expected of heroes. Okay, Chapter 3. I underestimated dungeons a little. And so, Fel and Dora-chan now have the blessing of the war god Vahan, and Sui has the blessing of the blacksmithing god Hephaestus. Once we'd finished breakfast, I told Fel, Sui, and Dora-chan about the events of last night. Well, to be honest, they pushed the blessings onto me, but even if I had them, even the small blessings were extremely useful, so I was doing just fine, and if I did get more, I probably wouldn't be able to make use of them. Even with the war god's blessing, I wouldn't want to fight. Of course I would if I was in danger, but that kind of violent stuff was usually better left to Fel. And on top of that, Sui and Dora-chan exist as well. Since that was the case, having everyone else get the war god's blessing was much more effective. As for the blacksmithing god's blessing, I never blacksmithed in my life either, and I'm not that handy in the first place. I just reflexively named Sui at the time, but it might actually unexpectedly suit the slime since it can already do pretty much anything. Really? The war god's blessing? That's super cool! Nice! Dora-chan was super happy after hearing about the blessing. In his excitement, he started flying acrobatics across the room. The war god's blessing, huh? That is pretty nice. You did well. It seemed that Fel was quite happy with the war god's blessing as well. The blacksmithing god's blessing. Sui got the water goddess's blessing so Sui can use water magic, but what did Sui get now? It looked like Sui was also curious as to what it could do with its new power. Excuse me. For now, I will praise everyone and confirm your blessings. I started with Fel. Name Fel, age 1014, race Fenrir, level 910. HP 9,877, MP 9,523, Attack 9,106, Defense 9,807, Agility 9,726, Skill Wind Magic, Fire Magic, Water Magic, Earth Magic, Ice Magic, Lightning Magic, Holy Magic, Barrier Magic, Rending Claws, Body Reinforcement, Physical Attack Resistance, Magic Attack Resistance, MP Efficiency, Appraisal, Battle Boost. Battle Boost, I'm guessing that was from the War God. Blessings. Blessing of the Goddess of Wind Ninvir. Blessing of the God of War Vahan. Yep, Vahan's blessing is on there. And there's also a new violent-sounding skill pop Battle Boost as well. Huh, it's a little higher. Hey, Fel, did your level go up? So you notice, the higher one's level goes, the harder it is to go higher, though. It did not even show a hint of going up these past several years, but I have gained 4 levels since I have contracted with you. Not only do I get to eat good food, but this happens as well. It certainly was not a mistake to make a contract with you. Fel, who had confirmed that he had gone up in level, was in high spirits. Still, though, these stats are amazing. There's definitely nothing that can oppose him. Thank goodness I'm on his side. Yeah, you definitely don't want him as an enemy. Next is Dora-chan. Name, Dora-chan. Age, 116. Race, Pixie Dragon. Level, 126. HP, 895. MP, 2,879. Attack, 2,652. Defense, 865. Agility, 3,269. Skills, Fire Magic, Water Magic, Wind Magic, Earth Magic, Ice Magic, Lightning Magic, Healing Magic, Bombardment, Battle Boost, which is the War God thing. Blessings, Blessing of the God of War Vahan. Dora-chan also got Vahan's blessing. He also has the same violent-sounding skill, Battle Boost. Looking at this again, Dora-chan sure is strong, but he doesn't look that way since he's so small, though. Looks like he'll get even stronger with Vahan's blessing. Next is Sui. I get the feeling he's gotten a lot stronger for some reason. Name, Sui. Age, 2 months. Race, Big Slime. Level, 16. HP, 989. MP, 980. Attack, 964. Defense, 973. Agility, 985. Skills, Acid Bullet, Potion Creation, Cloning, Water Magic, Smithing. Blessings. Blessing of the Goddess of Water, Rusalka. Blessing of the God of Blacksmith, Hephaestus. Yeah, Sui has Hephaestus' blessing and even has a new smithing skill. And it does exactly that, doesn't it? Sure, since he's the blacksmithing god, he would confer blacksmithing, but hey, would that Sui even manage? How would Sui even manage that? That's a good question. Sui, you've gotten the new smithing skill since you've got Hephaestus' blessing, but can you do anything new? Wait a second. It looks like Sui can do a lot of stuff with metal now. So he can make a lot of things with, like, iron and stuff. Makes sense since he's a smithing. Oh, that means anything you find metal-wise, you can have Sui mess with it and make stuff, and you can sell that stuff, too! That's even more stuff you can make money off of. Good! I see. So, how do you do it? With, like, iron and stuff. Sui would do, like, this and that with it in Sui's belly. This and that in its belly, huh? Does that mean Sui can make it if he takes in stuff like iron ingots or iron ore? I'm not really sure what that would be like without testing it. But it's not like I have any iron ingots on me. I don't even have any iron ore. Ah, I have that, though! The mithril ore that I had picked up after I defeated the mithril lizard. Yeah, you do have some of that still. Because I think you already got rid of the mithril lizard. And everything else with that going on, so all you have is the mithril ore. I took out some mithril ore from my item box. Sui, can you make something with this? Yeah, probably. See then, this should be good, I think. I took out the knife that was in my belt scabbard. Can you make a knife like this out of this rock? Yeah, that's fine, but it'll take a while probably. Sui said then Sui will start before absorbing the mithril ore. 10 minutes later, Sui said that it would take a while, but is this okay? Are we not going to the dungeon yet? Hold on, let's hurry up and go. I want to see how awesome the water god's blessing is already. Wait a second, Sui's testing out its new skill that it got from the blacksmithing god. Then it cannot be helped. Fine. Both Fel and Dora-chan reluctantly decided to wait. Sui, are you okay? You don't have to push yourself too hard. No, Sui is fine, Master. It'll be done in a bit, just wait. Sure, I'll wait. You don't have to hurry too hard or anything. Yeah, okay. Oh, right, I already know what the War God's Blessing does. Right, so the War God's Blessing boosts all your stats by 50% during battle, apparently. Really? That's... Considering it's on Fel, too? Jesus Christ! Even the dragon he said he might be on par with, he'd kick its ass! Easily! That's awesome! Am I even getting even stronger? The War God's Blessing really does fit me perfectly, after all. Hearing about the 50% boost, Dora-chan was quite happy. Oh, that is quite nice. Just the perfect blessing to get for dungeon diving, no? Fel said, grinning broadly. He didn't actually start laughing, but from the air around him, it felt like his grin implied he was laughing intrepidly. That's probably kind of bad. It might have been a mistake to give Fel the War God's Blessing. I know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's already ridiculously strong, and now he gets another 50% boost? Think about it now, I'm starting to feel sorry for the monsters. I know! I feel sorry for anybody who runs into them now. It's looking like Fel's ready and raring to go murder them, too. Please don't rampage around too hard, really, please. Yeah, because you don't need the dungeon collapsing on y'all. 10 more minutes passed while we talked about these kinds of subjects. It's done. Oh, Sui, you're finished? Yeah, it's done. Here. Saying so, Sui pushed forward a knife that glowed blue-white with its tentacle. I took it and appraised it. Ooh, that's a cool-looking knife. Mithril knife. A well-made mithril knife. There was no mistake, it was a mithril knife. Not only that, but it was well-made. Is that why there's a plus on it? Oh, it is a plus. I didn't say that. Well, anyway, it's amazing to think that Sui would make such a good knife. Our Sui really was amazing. Master, how is it? Sui's knife? It's really well-made. Thanks, Sui. You really are amazing to make something like this. Really? Is Sui awesome? Yeah, super awesome. Sui is awesome. Sui is so happy. Sui started to bounce around joyfully. Sui is so cute. Sui is my source of healing. If it is done, then we are going to the dungeon. That's right, let's go to the dungeon. The dungeon! Fine. The party of Fel, Sui, Dora-chan, and I were currently on our way to the dungeon. From what I heard out of Elran, we'll see where the entrance was ourselves if we follow the walls surrounding the town to our right from the gate where we entered the city. Is that it? We ran into a place where a lot of people were gathered after following its directions for around 500 meters. I couldn't tell why, but there was a lot of stalls selling food and general goods lined up. I guess so people can get, supplies and everything before they go into the dungeon, because, you need food to survive, to be able to eat and replenish your energy after a fight, Ahead of that, there was what looked like the entrance to a dungeon surrounded by stone walls. There was a pair of armored knights flanking the door. Looks like it's here. Indeed, there's no mistake. At the entrance to the dungeon, there was a long line of adventurers waiting to get in. As I watched, adventurer after adventurer poured out of a building right by the entrance and lined up. Oh yeah, didn't Elrin say that there was a branch of the Adventurers Guild nearby and that you can't enter unless you register yourself as an entrant first? I see, that must be the Adventurers Guild branch. Apparently we can't go inside the dungeon unless we register at the Adventurers Guild branch there, so let's stop by first. After informing them, I took everyone to the branch. There were 3 lines, so I chose one and got in. Excuse me, I'd like to register for the dungeon. Alright, dungeon registry is it. Oh my, if it isn't the rumored Tamer Makoto, said the receptionist in front of me. Rumored Tamer? Huh? What the heck does that mean? Is that what they're saying about me? I mean, they assume that you're probably a monster tamer who tamed 3 monsters, I mean, I can understand them thinking that. Sorry, I heard from my friends at the main Adventurers Guild. Specifically that you, Sir Makoto, are an amazing tamer who has strong familiars under his command, and that you are a shining star of an adventurer whom we have high expectations for. Huh? Really? All that does is spell trouble for me, though. No, in my case, I'm not the one that's strong, but my familiars. In reality, I couldn't hold a candle to any of my familiars. What are you saying? That's part of your strength. Changing the subject, you have very little baggage, don't you? Are you sure you're alright? What does that mean? Could it be the first time you've been to a dungeon, sir? Well, I was forcefully taken into a newly formed dungeon, but it's true that this is my first time in a dungeon this big. When I nodded, the receptionist replied with, "Thought so," and started explaining things to me. It seemed that entering the dungeon required a lot of preparation. I was told that if we were to enter the dungeon, the first thing I would have to do is estimate how long we would be down there. It depends on the adventurers, but most people enter for 3 days on the short side and up to a month on the long side. If the goal was to retrieve some drop items out of this many-floor dungeon, one would have to explore for at least that long to see some return after all. And so, since of course we would be spending that long in the dungeon, appropriate preparations would be in order. Especially for food, the accepted practice was to bring a large amount, since one may never know exactly what will happen in there, and your planned return date may not necessarily be correct. Yeah, because something could happen, like let's say there's a rock slide or something and you're stuck in there for a lot longer than you need to have extra food to account for that. It was a story from long ago, but apparently there was a party that didn't prepare enough food and was annihilated because of it. All the stalls that are lined up around here sell food and stuff aimed at adventurers, you know. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought would be the case. There are also at least somewhat accurate maps up to the 15th floor, so there shouldn't be anything that bad happening up until then, but if you go lower than that, you should exercise the greatest caution. It's also safer to carry more food than you think you will need. I see. When I asked about obtaining food in the dungeon, I was told that some monsters dropped meat, but that was up to luck. Apparently, rather than leave that up to luck, it would be better to properly prepare food. Well, of course that's the case. Also, it seems that this dungeon had 30 floors in it, but the current leading party was really only up to the 22nd floor. As for how they know about the 30th floor, apparently there was a party in the past that got that far. When I asked further, I was told that surprisingly that party was the one the current Guildmaster Elran was in, as well as Krell's Guildmaster Rodolfo. Apparently the last boss room had a behemoth waiting in it, and after some discussion, Elran and his party decided on a brave retreat. Of course. It's a behemoth, of course you'd retreat. It's a last boss class, even in games, you know. Actually, it really is this dungeon's last boss. A behemoth. I think those are the big old one-eyed things with the tentacles that you see that you saw one in Baldur's Gate 3 when you go to the Underdark. That big thing. Yeah, I think that's what it's talking about. Yeah, that's a big last boss there, definitely. But I wonder how Fel would do against it. How fun. Fel's telepathy rang in my head. Don't you go reacting to the word behemoth, Fel. It's not fun at all. Jeez. I went with the flow of my familiars while raring to go, but I underestimated dungeons a little. I would never have thought that it was the sort of thing to stay multiple days in. My familiars would probably just defeat any enemy in the dungeon, but the matter of food was entirely different. Our biggest enemy would be rations. At the very least, I had my online supermarket, so we wouldn't starve to death, but there was no way I could freely use it in front of other adventurers. With that in mind, it was necessary to properly prepare, especially in terms of food, for entering the dungeon. Excuse me, I think I really will refrain from the dungeon for today. From what you've said, we really aren't prepared for it. I see, if you really aren't prepared for it, that would be best. Well, then I will be returning your guild card. When I accepted my guild card back from the receptionist, Fel and Dora-chan contacted me through telepathy. What? What? We're this close that we aren't going in? You two heard, didn't you? If you don't prepare first, we're not going to be able to eat anything decent. What do you mean? Fel, you know that I can get food from my world, right? Indeed. Oh, is that what that square box that always appeared in front of you is? I totally thought it was your magic or something. Oh, right, I haven't explained it to you yet, Dora-chan. I was summoned from another world, so you see, it's called Online Supermarket. Well, it's basically a skill that lets me get stuff that's like food from my world. The food I make uses a lot of spices and seasonings and stuff from my world, got it? That's why it's so good. So imagine what would happen if I used that in front of other adventurers. If they're especially greedy, they'll try to get otherworld stuff out of you even if they had to threaten you to do it. We wouldn't let that happen, though. No. Well, with Fel around, even I don't think that would probably go through, but in a place like that dungeon, there's no absolute right. There's gotta be a lot of blind spots and the like, and who knows if they attack while Fel's fighting or something. I mean, I know that Fel's not gonna let that happen, but what about if they attack me while Fel's fighting some monster? We don't even know how strong the adventurers in the dungeon are. So I really don't want to use my skill in the dungeon if I can. My stock of pre-prepared food is dwindling too. If it runs out, then the only things I'd be able to make are meat grilled with salt, or meat and vegetables boiled with salt to make a soup, you know. Are you guys fine with that? As I said that, Fel and Dora-chan fell deep into thought. Just as I thought, they really were attached to good food. That's why, just for a little while, I'm thinking 3 days. We put off going into the dungeon so I can make some preparations. Is 3 days not too much time? I think so too. 1 day is fine, right? 1 day? Fel and Dora-chan both hesitated at the thought of waiting for 3 days. Well, we don't know how long it will be in there once we enter the dungeon. So before that, I want to get in some sightseeing as well as make a lot of food to keep for later. 3 days is definitely necessary for all of that. Fel reacted to the mention of the behemoth in the 30th floor, so he was definitely planning to go all the way down. If that was the case, I had no idea when I would be able to see the light of day again. So I wanted to get in a bit of sightseeing in the city beforehand. I mean, to be fair, considering the familiars you've got, it probably won't take you that long to get down to the 30th floor. It'd probably take you maybe a few days, probably, to get down to the 30th floor, with the way they go, especially with the battle boost thing. Yeah, it ain't gonna take them long to get down there at all, so I think you'll be fine. The food preparing aside, what do you mean by sightseeing? Fel, you just reacted to the mention of Behemoth, right? You totally intend to go all the way down to the 30th floor and find it, right? Of course. See? If you do that, I have no idea when I'll be able to come back out. Before that, I want to sightsee a little. I finally come to a place this big and all. Even though I traveled all this way to this place, it would be way too boring to end it with just making meals and then going into some dungeon. Personally, I'd rather go and look around. Why not just bear with it for 3 days? If you do, you'll be able to eat good food even in the dungeon, you know. Even if you tell me that, fine. Only 3 days, though. Both Master Fel and I are weak when you bring up food, huh? Oh well, 3 days it is. I somehow managed to persuade Fel and Dora-chan. Now that that's decided, today will be sightseeing. Onwards to the city of Dolan. I walked around the city of Dolan. I was getting stares because of Fel and Dora-chan, but people were a lot calmer than I expected. Just as one would expect of a dungeon city, there's a lot of adventurers. And even though tamers were rare, sometimes one would be even bringing along some familiars, so the people of the city were probably used to it. Still, though, there's a lot of people around, just what you'd expect out of one of the 5 largest cities in the country. I continued walking around along the street while looking around the stores that were lined up. The local flavor of the stores in this dungeon city were, of course, mostly dominated by weapons and armor shops. If asked if I had any interest, I would call it, say a little, but as I was right now, I had no use for any of it. I had strong allies in the form of my familiars, and Sui also got a blessing from the blacksmithing god as well. The mithril knife I had Sui make for me was really well done, and it was really pretty right down to the design on the hilt. Truthfully, I wanted to hang it off my belt right now, but thanks to it being made of mithril, its cutting edge was nothing to scoff at. The scabbard and belt I was wearing were made out of giant deer leather and very tough, but since there was a possibility the knife would just slice right through it, I regrettably had to stud it in my item box. And so my idea was to coat the scabbard with a thin layer of mithril. Luckily enough, the scabbard part of the set was movable, so if it was possible to coat the inside of the scabbard with a thin layer of mithril, there would be no need to worry about my blade cutting through it. Well, I tried asking Sui about it. The slime said it was probably doable, so I was thinking of trying it out tonight. After that, I was considering having Sui make some more mithril swords as preparation, since it was made painfully clear to me that preparation for the dungeon was important. Best to have some extra weapons just in case. While walking and looking around the stores and thinking deeply about various subjects, something caught my eye. The store itself was apparently a store that handled magic tools. As if it was drawing me in, I got closer to the store. What caught my eye was a state-of-the-art magic stove that was carefully, even reverently placed to decorate the storefront. It had 4 stovetops lined up horizontally and a fairly large oven in the bottom. As for its shape, it was more of a rectangle than a square thanks to the horizontal stovetop. On its longest side, it measured slightly shorter than 2 meters and was about 80 centimeters wide. It was a little big, but that size was used for the oven in the bottom. Welcome, you have a nice eye to be attracted to that state-of-the-art magic stove. While I was looking at the stove, I was approached by what seemed to be the shopkeeper. Excuse me, how powerful is the heat on this? It probably used magic stone since it was a magic tool, but if the power on it was weak, there would be no point. Just as you can see, the state-of-the-art magic stove does not use any old magic pebble, but a carefully selected one that allows it to have enough firepower for all your needs, he said, pointing out toward the center of the stove. There, a magic circle was drawn, and in the center was a black magic stone around 2 centimeter in diameter. According to the shopkeep, this magic circle was one of fire, and the magic stone in the middle provided the power to light the fire. I see, so that's what magic tools are like. On top of that, you can freely adjust the strength of the fire from low to high. Also, since it uses a magic stone of this size, even if you use it every day, The stone will hold for 10 years before needing to be replaced. I can keep using this as is for 10 years? Wow. I'll light the stove for you. Take a look. Saying so, the shopkeeper pressed a button on the bottom front of the stove and lit the fire. Press here and add in a little magic power only when starting the flame. Once the flame is lit, you can use this knob here to adjust the power. Even the use of it is simple. It looked like turning the knob, which was to the side of the buttons to the left, lowered the heat, and turning it to the right made it stronger. Just as the shopkeeper said, it was easy to use and its power was more than enough. Each stove has its own control so you can cook several things at once. Right? This portable stove I've been using up until now have been fine, but their power leaves a little to be desired. I had been thinking recently it looked like this magic stove would solve all my problems. Also, the bottom of the stove is an oven, and the controls for lighting it and adjusting its heat are here. They work the same way as the one for the stoves. Oh, and there's a timer here. You won't have to worry about burning anything either. The shopkeeper pointed to the right of the oven door that was on the front of the stove. I see, so there's a timer too. It's basically the same as a regular oven. With an oven this big, you can even roast a whole cockatrice. I don't remember how big that is. Not only that, you can even make soup on the stoves above while the oven below bakes bread or something. Whole roasted cockatrice, huh? Oh, here we go. Cockatrices are about 1.5 meters in length, so this should be able to do it. Roasted chicken, how nice. Fresh bread too, sounds so good. Since I have my skill, I can get flour and dry yeast easily, so handmade bread might be a good idea, actually. At any rate, having this looks like it will increase the range of dishes I can make by a lot. I might want this. Looks good, so how much is it? That was the most important point. It was probably expensive, though, since it used magic stones. 860 gold. Huh? 860 gold. Don't say that with a smile on your face, please. 860 gold, huh? Yep, that sure is expensive, but I want it. What should I do? Hey, are you not done yet? He's right, it's boring out here. I'm hungry too. Fel and Dora-chan, who were waiting disinterestedly, finally ran out of patience and started complaining over telepathy. By the way, Sui was asleep in my bag as always. Sorry, I was just wondering whether to buy this. What would you even do with such a large thing? It would only be in the way. It wouldn't. This is a magic stove and it's for cooking. But it's really expensive, so I wasn't sure if I should get it. You say that, but you have been cooking just fine up until now, have you not? That's true, but with this, I'd be able to make a larger variety of dishes. There's an oven in the bottom, so I'd be able to make things I wouldn't have been able to do before. But it's a whole 860 gold, you know, so I'm a little hesitant. It wasn't like I didn't have the money, but 860 gold was a lot. I mean, to be fair, what you could do is if you ended up beating that behemoth, you probably would be able to take it with you, huge probably, and be able to have it either butchered and you keep the meat if the meat's viable, or you could sell it at all the materials from it and get a ton of gold and get your money back that way. That's what you'd be able to do just from the behemoth alone. Actually, I don't even know if they would be able to buy the behemoth considering how expensive it probably would be. It was more than double the already expensive bathtub I bought. Alright then, buy it. What? You'll be able to make new delicious food, yes? Well, yeah. Then there's no problem. You have money, do you not? Just buy it. But yeah, I technically do have the money. Fel sure doesn't waver, doesn't he? Saying that I should buy it anyway if you can eat good food. What's going on? You can make good food if you have that. Then of course it's better if you buy it. Even Dora-chan, huh? Then I should just get it. I do actually want it. Yeah, okay, let's buy it. Excuse me, I'll buy it. Huh? Really? Could you please not be so surprised and are pushing it so hard? Well, they probably didn't think I had that much money just from looking at me, I guess. Yes, I will. 860 gold, right? I produced 3 bags packed with gold coins. Each bag had 300 gold in them. After taking out 40 gold from one of them, the total became 860. This should make 860 gold, please. Confirm the amount. The shocked shopkeep came in at the sound of my voice and started counting the money. Sorry to keep you waiting. It certainly is 860. Where would you like me to deliver the stove? You don't have to worry about that. I have an item box, so I'll be able to fit it in only barely. Really, though, I can fit that and more. Yes, you can. We know that from experience. Oh, I see. This town has a lot of people, so it's not like item boxes are especially rare, but I see that yours is fairly large. So big cities really do have many people with item boxes in them, but still, this size is pretty large, huh? The only largest things I've had to deal with so far were monsters, and those I'd only taken out in front of guild masters and the lake. So I didn't have to worry about this before. But I should probably be more careful when who I store and take out large objects in front of. I stored the state-of-the-art magic stove in my item box and left the store. The shopkeep saw me off with a "thank you very much" and a huge grinning face. Of course, he just sold you a very expensive item. Of course he's happy about it. After that, we had a look around at the food district. The vegetables on sale were all familiar to me, only their names were a little bit different. Cabbage was kabog, carrots were carrots, and onions were onions, and the like. The vegetables on sale were less fresh than what I would get from my skill, but it was all cheaper, so I bought a lot. I bought kabogs and cabbages and carrots, onions, and they also had potatoes, so I got those too. They even had something that looked like a mini onion, so I bought that as well. Each one of those was 1 silver for 1 meter wide bag full of them. It might actually be better to buy vegetables from here instead of my online supermarket from now on. I bought some black bread as well. Black bread is hard, but it has its own crunchiness and texture, so it wasn't exactly bad. After that, I kept looking around at the stores lined up on the street, but Fel and Dora-chan were getting bored and started complaining, "I'm hungry," so I decided to go back to the inn. Time to try out this state-of-the-art magic stove now. I was thinking of borrowing the inn's courtyard to use the new stove and cook, but all 3 of my familiars were complaining of hunger, so I had to tide them over with pre-made karage and pork cutlet first. It was my fault that I got absorbed in shopping and forgot the time after all. Oh well. While everyone was eating, I was going to try using the oven to make something. Since I couldn't take too long, I decided on a vegetable and meat oven bake, which only needed me to cut the ingredients and cook them. I'll need cooking paper, right? Oh, and also olive oil and herb salt from the online supermarket. After that, it's the vegetables, right? Anything will be fine for this, but when I made it before, I used potatoes, carrots, onions, shimeji, and orange mushrooms, and paprika for color, if I remember right. If I'm going to try and emulate that and make the same thing, I'll need the mushrooms and some paprika as well. Right, that should be good. Hold on, how long have I been recording for? Oh my god. It's going to have to stop. I'm sorry, guys. I had to stop right before he starts cooking. And I will continue this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.